Warning: motorsport is a dangerous activity. The events you're about to see were filmed in a controlled environment under the supervision of professionals. Do not attempt to recreate or reenact anything you see on this show.
On the last episode of Offroad Addiction TV, the Novawinch King of the Palace Winch Challenge began. The trucks were scrutineered, the drivers were briefed, and the first day of competition began. There were 4 stages that were full of huge mud bogs, deep ruts, and steep hill climbs with plenty of winching needed. But the day was not over yet. Not until the 2 night stages were tackled, where good lighting was key to getting through the tracks nice and fast. Then Saturday brought 9 more action-packed stages where we got a glimpse at a few tough tracks like the bottomless pit, that is Spring Track, and Redemption with its crazy off-camber winching. Now it's time for more stages to finish off Saturday and another half-day Sunday to bring the competition to a close. Stay tuned for plenty more action from Possum Palace. As the day continued, competitors were pushing themselves and their trucks to the limit to get through as many tracks as they could before the sun went down. Majority of the tracks started by going through large waterlogged drains surrounding the flats. This meant plenty of stuck trucks and lots of winching. And when there were no trees to get them back through the drain again, out came the ground anchors. Each stage was timed, and whoever got through in the fastest time got 100 points, with each placing below receiving slightly less points. There are a range of penalties competitors can get whilst in a stage. The most common ones are knocking down boundary pegs, insecure equipment, not using a winch dampener or using one incorrectly, and not calling stand clear winching. One of the far more common penalties is navvies touching or stepping over the winch cable as it is deemed live. Once the winch cable is hooked up to a tree protector, ground anchor or pulley block and back to the truck, the cable is deemed live, so this must be the last connection made. If a competitor starts a stage but cannot complete it due to running out of time or being physically unable to complete the stage, they receive a DNF, which stands for did not finish, and 20 points. If a competitor does not start a stage, they receive a DNS, go figure, stands for did not start, and they receive 0 points. The team with the highest overall score in each class at the end of the competition takes out the win. The second and third highest scores for each class then determine second and third placing. These tracks were definitely keeping competitors on their toes, especially the navvies, who were having to make sure the winches were hooked up safely and at the right angle so trucks did not end up on their side or upside down on their lid. Navvies, co-drivers, co-dogs, whatever you want to call them, they are the unsung heroes of the sport. They are always on their feet, always on the move, so being physically fit definitely helps. Good communication is key between driver and the navvy to make sure everything runs smoothly, So it always helps when both driver and co-driver can get along, have a good laugh and have fun.
That guy is fit and he puts up with my because I can't see what's happening outside my truck and he can see exactly what I'm doing wrong. But we had good communication the whole time until our radios went down and we were just shouting at each other, but we got there in the end. Thank you, we're Jack!
A few of the drivers had new navies competing with them over the weekend, but all seemed to be keen to jump straight in, get covered in mud and fully commit.
I had a new navvy this weekend, Jane Wilson. She did amazing. She just jumped in, boots and all. I couldn't ask for anything better actually. She was just amazing. She knew where to run the ropes. She didn't complain. I learnt quite a few new words and phrases this weekend. She taught me quite a lot. I thank her for that.
However, after a long weekend of competing, it's safe to say that they were all feeling pretty exhausted and happy to see the finish line.
New navvy, Dylan, absolutely brilliant. Couldn't find a better guy. We have a laugh and that's the main thing. You know, you can't play in the mud without having a laugh. So he's worked out brilliant. We'll see on the trip home and see if he wants to come out again.
Can you broken him?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be pretty sore tomorrow, but he's all good.
Off-Road Addiction TV is brought to you by Maxxis New Zealand, Force 4, Polaris New Zealand, and REDARC Electronics. A full-on second day of competing was followed by another 2 night stages. Just when the competitors thought they were going to breeze through these stages, they were briefed and told that they would be running the 2 hellish night stages they had run the night before, but this time in reverse. There were a lot of winches coming out that night to get through the tough, rutted out sections and steep hill climbs.
So I guess I like to do this extreme sort of sport to give me a bit of a, I guess it's a good buzz. I like to test the limits and try and conquer them if I can.
Early in the morning, had an issue with the water pump, sorted that out, just had a leak. Had problems with the Pt.2 the whole comp, just won't come out of drive. And we missed a stage yesterday, we filled a clutch up with mud. So we're 1 stage down, but hopefully there. Might make a podium, maybe, if we're lucky.
The main thing is it drives on the trailer, I suppose.
That's it, drive it on the trailer and take it home. Give it to the missus to clean.
The final day of competition was finally here. With light at the end of the tunnel, the remaining tired and weary competitors arose bright and early once again to tackle the last 5 grueling stages to see who would be crowned the 2018 Novawinch King of the Palace. One track in particular proved to be pretty tough. It starts off as a seemingly easy stage as you fire out the start box, round the corner, down a slippery hill. Once at the bottom, you end up in a nasty slop where you have to do a 180-degree turn and head towards a horrible looking hill climb. This is how the track gets its name, Skyhook, because when you're in the driver's seat, all you can see is sky or trees. Once you winch your way up the small cliff, you then go off up the hill, through a bog or 2, then back down the long straight steep hill, round the corner and back up the slippery climb all the way to the start box.
So we DNF'd one stage, but we finished every other. Nothing spectacular, but we've got through the comp without too many major issues, so we're pretty happy. Good weekend, great comps, and great weather, great people. Couldn't ask for much better.
Off-Road Addiction TV is brought to you by Factor 55, Motomuck, Big Brown Industries, and Trail Gear.
I found it really challenging. Broke quite a bit of gear. I had the truck on some pretty gnarly angles. I'm surprised it stayed all four wheels down a lot of the time. Yeah, it's definitely taken a bit of a beating. There was definitely some challenging tracks that we did this weekend. Every single one was very difficult, and we were just lucky to get through a good majority of them. A few of them we DNF'd. But we'll come back and we'll give it another shot next time. I don't think we did terribly well. I think we might have got third though, so I think there's only 3 in our class. So we must have done pretty good. Thanks to Jane and Ethan. Ethan was a massive help, helping us change the winch drum. We broke that on one of the stages with a few other minor repairs. Ben and Ethan again helping me out. We broke a Pt.2 shaft. They were both in there helping us fix it all. There's been all kinds of people jump in and lend a hand. It's been great to all of them. So thanks to everyone and everyone who's put on this event. I know a lot goes in behind the scenes. The Norwest Club, they put in huge amounts of time just to set it all up. And I'll definitely be back again.
Now that the competition had come to a close, it was time for prize giving and to find out who ended up top in each class. Thanks to Novawinch from Force 4, the top 2 competitors in each class walked away with a brand new winch for their truck. In club class, 3rd place was taken out by Hamish McLeod and Chris McGregor in their Toyota Hilux, 2nd place by Corey Haywood and Matt Holly in their Nissan Safari, and in the top spot was Joe Wheeler and Nick Holthusen in their TJ Jeep. Next up was the modified class with Matt and Mark Grieve taking out 3rd place in their Suzuki Samurai, followed by Tim Randall and Carol Lee Galais in their V8 Suzuki, but it was Roger and Sean Irwin who took the top spot for the modified class in their Nissan Safari.
I'd like to thank the landowners for letting us come in here. All the competitors, they've been real helpful to us, really friendly, pumping up our tires, just being friendly and inviting. Yeah, everyone has put it together, all the marshals. It's just been a great weekend. Just all the background stuff they've done, the showers, they're hot, they're always working. The beautiful lunches, it's just been well run, a lot of fun.
Big thanks to Ben and the Blythe family for the use of this wonderful property, to Force 4 as a major sponsor, and all the marshals and the other people that organised the comp. They do a fantastic job with pretty trying circumstances, so big thank you. It was really enjoyable, pretty hard. It was a hard comp, but nothing dangerous. You'd have to try pretty hard to hurt yourself, so it was great, brilliant, really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
And finally, the Outlaw class. 3rd place was taken out by Lee Cossey and Jane Wilson in their 40 Series Land Cruiser, followed by Stan Goodman and Chris Golding in their 40 Series Cruiser, and Robin Scaife and Paul Kelly taking out their top spot in their massively modified Jeep. The competition finished on a high and could not have been achieved if it wasn't for the huge efforts from sponsors, organisers, marshals and competitors. Without all these people, competitions like this just could not happen.
The comp got off to a pretty rushed start on Friday afternoon, but soon settled down into a great pace through Saturday and Sunday. It all went very smoothly thanks to the marshals and the ground crew, and the competitors were, as much as they're competing against each other and going hard, they were very compliant with all the ground staff and made it a really enjoyable event. We've been doing this for a few years now, and I think this has been the most cleanest running comp we've had, the easiest to run. Everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves throughout, whether they had breakages or even if they're going real hard out, and that was good to see. Big thanks goes out to all the people behind the scenes, the sponsors, The committee members of Norwest OHV, the landowners, my parents, letting us wreck the place, and all the competitors for coming up and making it such a great competition. We were really lucky with the weather. It held together for us the week before and leading up to, but still left us with plenty of water in the tracks from the month's rain, which made it a nice, tough, challenging event, but not with anything that was too dangerous or breaking vehicles and such. You've caught us pretty well at the end in the pack up. That's why about a whole solid week and then 4 days of hell end up looking real good.
We've reached the end of the 2018 King of the Palace Winch Challenge. We've seen people break stuff, we've seen people fix stuff, and we've seen people with no intent on giving up this weekend. The weather has been stunning, the competition flowed perfectly, the marshals did their job down to a T, and everything went as it should, and it was a great event. We're about to pack up now and head home, and we've got a lot of washing to do to get this Polaris sorted. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you guys are going to subscribe below to our YouTube and hit the little bell notification so that you don't miss any further episodes. And we'll see you out in the trails. Coming up on the next episode, we head to our local playground, the Polaris 4-wheel drive park in Woodhill Forest, just north of Auckland. We have a play around in the tow rigs during the day and have some fun in the Polaris units once the sun goes down.
Okay, ready when you are, Caleb. You're on a good line. Keep coming straight towards me. Just watching that stump, obviously, before you drop away. Yep, you're good. Your front is about to drop off now. Yep, you can see that tree. Get a bit of the clearance on that one. Yep, straight towards me, bud. Okay,
Excellent. What was your favourite track?
Hell track, yeah. at one of the new tracks up here. They sort of all blend into one actually when I find when I'm driving them that don't actually remember too many details of each track, but that one stuck in my mind because there's some pretty good climbs, and I was pretty happy to get up without crashing, to be honest. So yeah, that was probably the favourite track, Hell Track.
What's your favourite track?
Nice. Yeah, I don't know which is my favourite track. There's quite a few there. I can't remember the names of them all now.
I'd like to thank everyone who put this event together. Dan, his whole family, letting us use the land. Yeah, Ben. Yeah.
Start that again.
Ben.
I'd like to put out a little bit of a thanks to my parents. They let us come up here twice a year and make a hell of a mess. Somehow they enjoy it. And then we get to go and put it all back to square one again. So yeah, again, round of applause. Couldn't do it without them.